garage sale pickups vid again here today. 4 weeks in a row with some action. But first I'm going to do, it's a regular game, Nintendo Switch game pickup, if you saw the thumbnail. You've seen what it is. I ordered this last night and picked it up earlier. That game is Bayonetta 3. Everybody knows what Bayonetta is at this point. I see everybody posting now they picked it up and shit. I don't know if I'm going to crack this open immediately. I want to continue to play Persona 5. I'm excited to play this one. This one seems to be a bit different from the other two. You can command demons to fight your battles in this one. Or take on their forms to use their abilities as your own, it says in the back. I'm sure it'll be still the same great combat and kind of bizarre story and pretty crazy over the top stuff. Was it the first one? I think it's the first one where you're riding up the freaking rocket on a motorcycle. I think that's the first one. But I'm excited to have this one. I have the second one on the Wii U. And I had originally had the first one on the PS3 back in the day. And I sold it, and I think I owned it on the Xboxes, but 360 1.2, and just never bought up another copy after I sold that one. The first game was sick. Like I said, the combat is great. Like Devil May Cry-ish, combat like that. Over the top, crazy stuff. The story's, pretty ridiculous too. But I heard this game reviewed very well, except they said the ending kind of sucks. Whatever. I've had plenty of endings suck across all types of mediums, so it doesn't bother me. As long as I enjoy the game, whatever. I paid $65 for this one. As a full price one. Part of the reason is I want to play it. But I'm weird with that stuff, but especially with Switch games. Like I didn't end up pre-ordering Yomawari, Night Alone. Because I'm like, I'm going to get this, and this I will play before I would have played that. I might wait and get that maybe a month from now if it just doesn't disappear off the face of the earth or go up $50. That's the fear with Switch games. I'm afraid all of a sudden, now I could have waited a week or two, but all of a sudden it disappears and you gotta pay fucking $90 for it. Like I'm just very hesitant or nervous or whatever when it comes to Switch games. I'm afraid they're gonna just disappear off the face of the earth or go up in value. But anyway, yeah, it's the regular Nintendo Switch pickup. Bayonetta 3. Now the next 11 games I got for $30, so I can get 11 for $30 or one for $65. So I went to G-Sale today. The first one said they had games. I went there. I had a little bit of a, I don't know, like awakening or eye-opening experience, because I've gone to garage sales for years. I've talked about this on my original channel. I've talked about it playing on this channel as well. I've done garage sale pickups on this channel since the beginning. And, well, maybe not at the beginning, but at least a year. But I'm walking there and I see the game. Somebody's already looking at some stuff. And this other person, pulls up in their car, super fast, fucking stops, runs out, looking at everything. Saying how, oh yeah, I sold all my stuff. I don't know if they're really a collector or they're just doing the speak that we all sometimes do at these garage sales. That you're a reseller or you're going to maybe keep some of it, sell some of it, whatever you may do. But either way. Comes up, the one guy's already looking at stuff, and he's bum rushing through there. He's grabbing this. He's like, oh, those GameCube games. I grabbed a couple GameCube games that were not in their cases. They were in little holders, disc holders, whatever. Oh, I didn't know those GameCube games. There's a Famicom there, of all things. This person, I think, the person who lived there, cleaned out a storage unit or something, a bunch of shit. A lot of the games, they were basic stuff. Good stuff, but not anything crazy. And it was funny because the other guy's still looking at all these PlayStation 1 games, and then the other guy's like, oh, how much? I saw the Famicom. I'm like, I don't know enough of the value of that. And I don't know if they have different outlets in Japan or not. They use different connector, plugs or whatever. So I was like, you know what? No. And the one guy who rolled up in his car is like, oh, how much for the Famicom? 40. And then the other guy turns around and he's like, oh, yeah, how much for the Famicom? I'm like, what? That guy definitely was selling shit. They coming across as overly too friendly, and it's weird. I started getting uncomfortable, and I'm like, do I look this way at garage sales? I don't think I do. I'm not, rude and running up and, steamrolling people and grabbing stuff, putting stuff down, grabbing this, asking this, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, not that these people were jerks or anything, but it's just, I don't know, they come across as a bit rude. I don't know. That's just me. But if you're in the reselling business, you have to kind of have that because you won't. That's why I'll never do insanely well. A, I don't drive either, so that's probably the biggest reason I wouldn't. But either way, I was up at the games and stuff. I just hung in the back, uncomfortable for a minute. Waited, was looking at stuff because I didn't see anything crazy. The one guy had some cool PS1 games, but then he put a bunch down. He must have been looking up prices because he started putting certain things down. Like 10-yard fight for the Nintendo he put down. There's 3 DSs there. Lights. I think he was selling 2 for, like, one was 20, the other 2 were 15 each. And I picked one up. I'm like, do I have a power cable? I don't know if I even have it. I have DSi power cables, but I don't think I have DS ones. And they were all scratched up and shit. I was like, you know what? I know they have value, but I don't even know if they work. And if I don't have I'd be able to test them because my fiance has her DS, but I was just like, DS Lite she has, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna grab some games. I probably could have grabbed them and just took the risk, but I don't like to spend a ton of money. Ended up 11 games for $30. Good deal. It was like $270 something a game, so not a bad deal. I got like, what did I get here? I got 8 GameCube games and 3 Game Boy Advance games and 1 PlayStation game. These are not like heavy hitters here or anything. They all have more value than 2 and change, but first GBA game is the Incredible Hulk. I only grabbed this one because I'm like, it might have value, and it has a little bit, not like an insane amount or anything. I picked it up. So the next 2 are both. I got a lot of Harry Potter games at this garage. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is the Sorcerer's Stone. It just says Harry Potter on it. I'm pretty sure it's Sorcerer's Stone though. These are not like the Prisoner of Azkaban role-playing game for the Game Boy Advance. Oh, my hand is shaking bad. I was like I said, I'll grab Harry Potter stuff. I want to keep some of it, and some of it has value, I think. And they do, more so than what I paid, but nothing, like I said, nothing crazy. So that was cool. PlayStation games kind of like my personal collection here, but it's Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I got this game 3 times today for different systems. This one might be the same as the console one, the other, because this came out in 02. This came out at the same time as the Cube, Xbox, and PS2 one. So I think this is the same game, except just not as good graphics. This one's got a little broken hinge there or whatever. I played a little bit of this one on the Cube back in the day, and I played some of Prisoner of Azkaban as well. And I played some Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire was a different one, kind of different feel. And I played some of the Quidditch World Cup as well. That one where it was just Quidditch. And, of course, Lego Harry Potter. Actually, I played War of the Phoenix, too, on the PS3, so yeah, I may have played a decent amount of these things. I like the game world and stuff, and they're pretty good gameplay, but it's got the manual on there. All these discs are alright, except I'll tell you about one. It's not that bad. In a minute. I'll go through the 3 that didn't have. They came on nice little holders. There's a bunch of them like this, probably at least 25 like this. The first one is Aquaman, Battle for Atlantis. Grabbed it thinking it might have value, and it does, but not a ton. And there were so many games, I'm like, I had to like buy some stuff here because I'm an idiot. TAC 2 Staff of. This one has all types of crud on the front too. TAC 2 Staff of Dreams. I don't know if you can see on the bottom there. You see that? Like crud on there. I guess if there's all this shit was sitting in a storage unit, it's possible shit got. I don't know, it's like oxidization or what. I have to test these yet. I mean, this is the most exciting of these 3, but it was X-Men Legends 2. I do have the first one on the Xbox. This is the Rise of Apocalypse one. This disc is actually in good shape. And the next 4 are actually cased GameCube games. Another whole game. This does not have the value that the Ultimate Destruction, Hulk Ultimate Destruction has. But this one is complete. Yeah, that disc is alright. Yeah, my hair as well. Like I said, I grabbed this because this one has like $10, $15 in value. Like I said, nothing crazy, but everything's worth more than 2 and change. I'll get rid of this one. The Ultimate Destruction one, the one that a lot of people liked. I don't know how this one reviewed. This was this was probably based on was it Eric Bana that was in this one? Ed Norton was in the, like 08 or something. And the next 3 are Harry Potter games. Here is Chamber of Secrets. This actually says extend your adventure, connect to the Game Boy Advance Harry Potter game. So that's what you were able to do. They had a thing. I forgot how it worked. I didn't have it, but like you could connect this thing to your cube. I don't know if you had to have the Game Boy player to do it, or you can connect something from your GBA to the GameCube, like maybe one of the controller boards. You'd be able to like put, swap things back and forth and shit. This was the one with the weird fucking, I don't know if it was salt or something, but this disc, it's all fucked up. You can still see some of it. I don't even know if this will work. You can see one on the edge there. It's like weird salt or like soap. It was very weird. I was like, what in the hell is this? This one does have its manual. I don't know if this one's gonna work. Fucking GameStop putting a sticker on the artwork there. $3. I guess it could have been eBay. All the same shit. I'm pretty sure this is very similar to that one. Let's see if it has the same screenshots. No, it does not. I did play some of this one back in the day on the Cube. But was this? This was 02 as well. Yeah, see, it says Game Boy Advance compatible. There's like a way. There was some connector. It might have plugged into the top of the Game Boy Advance or SP. No, maybe it wouldn't have. I don't know. There was a connector though, and I don't think you needed the Game Boy player to do it because the Cube had the Game Boy Advance player, and I think regular Game Boys well, you plug onto the bottom of it. Here's Prisoner. You see Prisoner of Azkaban. You could do it with as well. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, you see, you do is it plugged into the top of the original Game Boy Advance, and then you plug it into a controller board. So I don't know if that worked with the SP or not. I guess it would have because I think it had the same thing on the top. I played a lot of this one. This one was kind of cool. No manual in this one, unfortunately, or the next one. Disc is alright, but still gotta test them. And the last one is a Goblet of Fire, which I played a little bit of. But this was like a while after. I think I got it for the Xbox or some shit. Briefly. But it started with like you control all 3 of the people. Ron, Hermione, and Harry. Once again, this one does not have a manual. Still cool. I hope they work. The Game Boy game should probably work fine. PlayStation disc is in the right shape. I could test these. I could bust out the Wii, and because I do not have I have a controller for the GameCube, but I don't have a GameCube. I'll have to play on the Wii. I mean, not bad for 30. And I'm not a good negotiator. That's another problem I have with Garage. That's why I can't. I do negotiate sometimes, but a lot of times I don't. But $30 for 11 games is still a $3 game, which is great. I mean, if I was going to, I would have probably said 25. I probably should have just said 25. He probably would have said it right, but happy with what I got. Like I said, I mean, the other 2 people were the one guy, the older guy, was definitely some other random person appears. He sees Game Boy Advance. He's like, "Oh, do you have the Game Boy Advance itself and all that stuff?" And then he just like disappears. He's like, oh, my grandchildren love it, and then he just like disappears. It's like, no, you're trying to sell stuff, dude. I mean, I've done it myself. I'm guilty of that shit. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm getting this for so and so. I don't know if that person really wanted to. Was it like he was like really going all over the place looking at shit? Like, although if he was a real collector, he probably wouldn't have wanted those GameCube games without cases. I don't know. Look, there's nothing wrong with reselling. I'm not even getting against that, but just like stomping in there. Like, I mean, I guess maybe I need to have that kind of attitude, but I can't. Oh, then I went to another G sale. There's nothing there. And then I went to another one. Nothing there. I went to another one. There's a random PlayStation game there. Ape Escape. I'm like, I know that has value. And then I pick it up. I'm like, there's no fucking disc in here, you know. After time, you just know the way. I told them, I'm like, there's no disc in here. And they just got rid of the thing. And I'm like, I want to see how much it had. I knew it had value, but it was like a $30, $35 game. I was like, it was the greatest hits one. I was like, of course it's not in there. There's a bunch of old PC games there too, like Age of Empires, Civilization, Warcraft, Starcraft. I'm gonna hold on to these Game Boy Advance Potters as well. They had Potter for the Game Boy Color as well, which also I think a turn-based role-playing game, but it was like the one side of the cartridge was cracked pretty bad, so I had to stay away from that. Like this person was clearing out, I think, a lot of the okay and kind of very common stuff out with some other random things. And there was a original PlayStation there, a Wii there, an Xbox with no connectors, no cables. Like, I got another Wii. I can't get another Wii now. I don't know how much it would have been. I mean, if I would have guessed, it probably would have been like $30 or $40. Original PlayStations actually don't sell that well. I have one. Well, a few consoles. Maybe the Mini does. The slim one they made. But yeah. 4 weeks in a row, grabbing stuff is classic, though. It's actually been I didn't even go to a ton, but the fall has really been a lot of stuff. There's some Genesis stuff there as well. I almost grabbed Desert Strike, but I didn't. What else was there? There's a lot of Wii shit. Like 2 or 3 original Xbox games. Xbox One. A lot of 360 and Wii with it too. And a decent amount of PlayStation 1 sport games, though. The one guy grabbed like 5 or 6 of the PlayStation games. Okay. I don't know. That's on me, I guess. I gotta bum rush my way. And if I can't do that, though, I just feel like it's too rude. I'm like, you're there first. Maybe if you're taking a month, I'll kind of like slide my way towards something, but it's still cool to get some stuff, and that stuff does have some value, but I'll probably hold on to some of that shit, though. And now I have a nice Harry Potter game collection. But yeah,